Fremantle Ports was thrilled to once again support sculpture at Bathers. Becoming major sponsor of the installation Seawall Bunker allowed us to collaborate with artist Bruce Abbott and Whadjuk Noongar people in reflecting upon the deep significance of this physical place and modern society's impact upon it. We are delighted to back this significant arts event, which contributes toward a strong and united Fremantle community. Neil Stanbury, Manager Corporate and Community Relations, Fremantle Ports. For 2 weeks in February, West Australian artists converge on Bathers Beach in Fremantle to provide a unique artistic experience. In 2020, artist Bruce Abbott and the Sculpture at Bathers team are putting months of planning to the test to create Seawall Bunker, a large-scale art installation on the shoreline funded by Fremantle Ports. The work addresses climate change, sea level rise, and the deep connection to this place by Whadjuk Noongar people. It will be assembled throughout the duration of the event, but must be completed before the Kala Nula Budja Wardum closing ceremony. The community are invited to help with the construction, but will the race against time and the elements prove too much to manage? In 2 days, Sculpture at Bathers opens, and construction on the Seawall Bunker has begun.
We're going to put in a sculpture over the next 3 or 4 days, and the tricky bit is that we have to build it in about 12 hours, because if we don't build it in time, it's going to wash over.
The first step in creating the 20-metre circular bunker is to start removing sand and funneling it into the 2,500 Hessian sacks.
Then we'll carry them over and start from this far edge of the seawall and start building it up in a sort of crescent shape. And we've got to do that between the low tide and the high tide. Otherwise the sea's going to come in and wash our wall away. Had a bit of progress. We worked on our method of bagging yesterday, but the tide at the moment is just lapping up on the edge of the seawall, but by 2 o'clock it'll be right up here again. So we're going to get our 700 bags done, and then tomorrow we can go hard and start laying so we can get the whole wall up before the tide comes in.
The morning before Sculpture at Bathers opens and the Seawall Bunker is taking shape.
So we got down here early this morning because I was a bit worried about the tide. What I realised is if we build a sort of temporary sand wall around it, that'll protect us from the incoming tide. So we've just been going for about 20 minutes and we've laid out the first 2 outside layers of sandbags, and we'll probably just batter this sand down, which will half bury maybe the first 1 or 2 courses in the sand in the front, and that'll just protect it in the front because it's got to stay here for 2 weeks, so I'm hoping it does. So we're halfway through day 3. This morning I found that a bit of a hole in a couple of the front of the seawall, so we did a little bit of work on the side, but we're really shoring up the front now. The water is really coming in now, so the pressure's on.
With the centre of the bunker filling with water from the incoming tide, timing is everything. Volunteers from the sponsor, Fremantle Ports, have been enlisted to help construction.
Pretty early on when we first built that first section, we realised that it's not going to last the way we were building it. We basically built a whole other section of wall in front of the first draft, if you like. Well, this is day 5. We had 4 days straight of pretty manic construction, and so I don't know whether it's going to survive today. We've decided just to let it do its thing now.
A week later, and despite the challenges, the Seawall Bunker occupies the shoreline and is popular with visitors. Volunteers help visiting children construct lanterns. These will feature in the closing ceremony, which is now only 2 weeks away. Finally, the storm, which has been threatening the coast, hits Fremantle. a deluge washes over Bathers Beach precinct. Vulnerable sculptures are covered and tours are temporarily suspended. Fortunately, the Seawall Bunker is complete.
Well, after several rebuilds in the background there, that's pretty much the completed thing. Worst case scenario, it falls in, we can still do the ceremony, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. You know, now that I've got the hard work out of the way, and has been hard work. So, but it's all about the ceremony in the end. Yeah.
As 6 p.m. approaches on the 1st of March, a frenetic excitement surrounds the Seawall Bunker. Kala Nula Puja Wardon is a sunset ceremony curated by Noongar Minang Will Hayward, honouring fire, earth and sea, and references Indigenous land-based ritual practice. Dancing and storytelling culminate in the lighting of a large bonfire in the centre of the Seawall Bunker. The crowd reflects on climate change and human intervention to the landscape at Wadjamup and the mouth of the Swan River, Derbil Yerrigan.
You know, it's been an internal process for us of like achievement and then failure and worry and panic, and we have a pretty good life here in Freo. You know, it's coffee every morning and down the cafe. It's sweet, you know. You know, it's really for me like an exploration of what possibly it might be like if we get into a situation where the climate is really challenging. It's been an interesting process, that's for sure.
As onlookers watch captivated, the fire burns into the night.
Okay, it's pack-up day today, and we're going to try and do this in 6 hours. Anyway, cut to the time lapse.
Days later, the Hessian bags are gone and the sand has been returned to the shoreline. No trace of the work is left, but the existence of the Seawall Bunker will live on in memory for years to come.